Good morning. Let's do us a DIY boat project. This is my fish finder. Just took off the boat, unplugged it. Cutting board. Walmart special. Tools and hardware. And I'll show you what we're going to do here in just a minute. Let's head over to this table saw and start cutting this up. Now I chose this material because it is plastic. I don't have to paint it. It's already a pretty nice color that'll match the boat. And very, very strong. Now this is the little lap, the little ridge that comes in these things. I want a square piece to match this. So let's go to the chop saw now, cut this off, and then we'll measure and cut that off. Now it'll get hot, try to melt on you. So where'd the other part go? Now we can sand it off and trim it up later. Try it this way. Something like that. All right, let's go back to the workbench and I'll show y'all what the plan is here. Now, what I'm going to do here, some of y'all might remember on the old boat I did the same thing. Fish finder sits on the console. It'll make more sense in a little bit, and I can see it from the steering wheel, from the cockpit. Sit like this. What I want to do when I get up on the deck, getting my seat up there, I want to be able to pivot the fish finder around facing forward so I can see it. Okay, now the one that I put up front that I had, the hook 7 that I tried to fix the transducer, it didn't work, so we took it off. I really don't need another one up there. This is a fine machine right here. Side scan and all the neat stuff. So we'll go into a review on this later. I've never done a review on it. But it'll sit one way when I'm in the cockpit. When I get up, I can turn it like this. So next step, we got to find the center here. We want to drill a 1/4 inch hole for a 1/4 20 stainless bolt. And to do that, we'll do the old X marks the spot thing. Go from corner to corner. That's why I cut it off, so it'll have square corners on there. Just a mark there. mark there. That should be the center or pretty close to it. And we'll take our center punch. Alright, now we'll go drill us a 1/4 inch hole in there. Alright, there's our hole right here. That's going to be the pivot point. Now I'm going to make a template, paper template, so this will fit the console on the boat. Drill another hole, and that will pivot around. Now we need a bushing in the middle. So after I measure this out, there should be a scrap piece enough left. We'll make us a little spacer bushing type thing right there. Follow me so far? Now these are 1/4 20 stainless steel Hurricane track bolts. The reason I got these is they are much cheaper than regular 1/4 20s, and there will be another purpose for this box when I'm done, because I only actually need one of these and a box of nuts. Alright, got me a little paper template here. Of course the hole is not right, but it's fairly close to where it needs to be. That's for the wires to come up through. Now I've traced it onto this other piece here, and I'm going to take it over to the bandsaw and cut this out, and then we'll see how we're going to fit these together. Alright, that's cut to match the console. Now, let's take it over to the grinder and sander and smooth it out a little bit. Alright, we got it shaped, and this stuff will melt as it gets warm on the sander or something. Let's take a sharp chisel. Or a sharp razor knife, something like that. Just trim off your excess there. And we'll polish these edges on the buffer before we get finished with it. Just trying to get all the pieces cut and make sure it's going to work like I want it to. There we go. Alright, let's go out to the boat and see what it's going to look like. But wait a minute, we got to make our spacer. Gonna make that out of, how about a piece of that? Alright, maybe a little bushing to go in there. Spacer, bushing, whatever you want to call it. Ground it down pretty thin. Then as I can get it without grinding my fingers off. That will go here. That will go there. And that will go there. Now, I will have to countersink the bottom here, wherever that winds up. So let's go do that. Alright, this is not real easy to show you what I'm talking about here, but we're going to try it anyway. Well, this is going to work. Drill a hole here. Wires will come up through this hole. Come up through this hole. Then the spacer will go here. That's what allows it to pivot. Y'all see when my hand's in the way. Then this will sit here. Like that. I can see it from there. When I get ready to look at it from the front, I can pivot the whole thing around this way. And I can see it from there. Make more sense now? I hope it does, because it's hard to explain. But anyway, let's go drill some more holes. If we mess up, we got another half a cutting board. We can start again. Alright, got a hole drilled in the top. This one is 7/8, which will be plenty big enough for it to move around. Now the bottom one, I'm going to oversize that hole to 1.25 inches. Now we're going to use our spade bits instead of the hole saws this time, because it's a little bit easier. We only got a couple of holes to drill. And this one, clamp it down if you can in the drill press or whatever, somewhere. Drill, clamp it down, because that bigger hole will catch that thing and come around and get your hand if you're not careful. Even if you are careful, it might get you. This stuff makes a mess too. Throw that away. Now there's our hole. We got into that one just a little bit. I don't know if that's going to matter or not. See, our spacer will be here. It'll make sense in a minute. Hang on. I think we're going to have to redo that one, but that's all right too. All right, got it all cut out. Show you a couple of things I did in a minute. But now the base, what I want to do is grind off these sharp corners. Make it look better. And as clumsy as I am, especially in the boat, I don't want to cut myself on them. So now I glued in some grommets for where the wires come through, and they're almost dry, not quite dry. That's what's taking me so long. But glued them in with gel super glue. And works great, but it takes way longer to dry than normal super glue. but there's none on this side here. So I'm going to go over to the grinder and knock these corners off. Alright, got the corners ground off. I'll take a transfer punch and mark our holes here. Now these are just pilot holes for the screws that's going to hold us down. Not barely visible, but I can see them when I get, pardon me, over to the drill press. Almost done. Alright, we got all our pieces and parts ready. Let's, excuse me getting in the way here. Let's get everything put together, shall we? There's our nut, through nut spacer. Okay, that's what's going to pivot. Now this is a nylock nut, self-locking nut. Yes, I appear to be a little clumsy, but if you have arthritis, you know what that's all about. Tighten this down. We don't want it too tight because we still want it to turn. But we don't want it to spin. Okay, let's go a little bit tighter than that. It's got this wrench sort of securing the bolt there. A little bit more. Hang on, let's do another clip. I'm gonna have to get it in a position to where the camera won't see it, but hang on. All right, that part's done. It'll turn freely. It won't spin around. You have to put some little bit of effort into it to make it turn, which is what we want. Gonna bolt up this way. Now let's put our cables up through there. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but line up just right. We might have to knock that off of there, but let's see. Yep, we're going to knock that piece off. Hang on. All right, I wound up having to take the top grommet out, but I think that'll be just fine. That cable through. that cable through. Make sure we're not twisted up there. Alright, that's going to sit just like that. Now mount here. Let's see, we're going to hold that on with some stainless steel screws. Where's my screwdriver at? Doggone it. Hang on, let me get the screwdriver. Alright, let's try this. Okay, got one. Got two started. Now my holes are not lining up exactly right, so all I'm gonna do is just take a drill bit, start a hole in there, and tighten that up. Be right back. There we go. Now base is secure. Now we're gonna pull our wires back down. Get them out of the way. We want enough to plug in, but enough to rotate. Pardon me. All right, that'll probably be good right there. Now we're going to drill some pilot holes here. Put one here, and maybe one in the back, and that will secure the mount. And that'll cover up all them little holes that we had on the old mount. All right, we're securing these down. One there. Let's see, let's put one more up here. A little windy today, but very nice and cool and dry. There's a pilot hole. always use stainless steel. Screws, nuts, bolts. Anything on the boat. Because it's going to get wet. If you don't, it will rust. Alright, just for good measure, we're going to put one more back here. Alright, that's not going anywhere. Now you see this will pivot like we want it to. Now let's get the unit put back on here and plug it back in and see how it works. Alright, the moment of truth. Then get it locked in. Just like that. Now when I'm running the boat, I can see it like that. Let's see, let's go ahead and plug it in so we'll get the whole look here. There we go. Okay, I can see it from the cockpit. Sitting up in the fishing seat. Turn it. I can see it from up there. Or turn it that way. Either way, I think the other way is better. There we go. Turn it like that. That way I don't have to jump back and forth, try to look, and I don't need one up front. This one will do anything I need to do. Now granted, the transducer is, from where I'm sitting, it's about probably 15 feet. But who cares? Be just fine. Turn it right there. There we go. Make sure we come on. Everything's coming on. It takes a few minutes for it to get all loaded up there. And yeah, there we go. Now, total cost on this. The cutting board was, I think, $9. I already had the screws. Only used one 1/4 20 bolt, so $10. Not bad. When you can get these online, you can get the different kind of mounts. $40, $50, $60, $70. Yeah, never mind all that. So there we go. Mount is complete. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see y'all next time.